the record button. Before I go to the board, who can remember what's the topic of today? I told you guys last week we're going to go a little deeper into something. Who remembers what we were planning to go a little deeper into?
Was it using other people's networks?
There we go. How to leverage other people traffic, right? And let's see if I can get this to catch up to. And what did we mean by other people's traffic? We were talking about this last week.
Like other people's podcasts or just getting in front of their audience?
Guest speakers.
Okay. What was the type of traffic that other people traffic fell under?
It was a database?
Nope.
Earned?
Nope.
Well, then there's only one more left, which was paid.
Actually, you were right. Earned. I was thinking something different in my own head while I'm trying to multitask here. Earned traffic. Mm-hmm. We talked about this right here. Other people, right? Because this is something we have to earn our way into. Okay, so we're going to go deeper into this today. I'm going to get a blank spot where I can actually draw some stuff out here. So earned traffic, we talked a lot about it last week. It's stuff that we don't necessarily pay for. We earn the right, or we earn it through effort, right? We earn it through being out there. We earn it through whatever the case, right? And probably one of my favorite ways to get traffic on something of us or get eyeballs coming over to us is to tap into platforms or audiences that are already in an existence and followings. And some of the big ones are podcasts, live streams, could be YouTube channels, could be guest trainings. Right, these are some of the common ones. Podcast is obviously a pretty simple one, right? If somebody in our space is doing a podcast and they've got a decent following, they've got a decent audience, I want to be a guest on that podcast. Right? Same thing if they're doing live streams. If somebody's very common with going live, maybe in a closed Facebook group, they've got a closed audience. Maybe they just do them live to their normal Facebook stream, Instagram live, something like that. And I could build that relationship and get on that. That's one way of kind of getting my exposure. YouTube and trainings, guest trainings, this one's a little bit more unique, right? Because YouTube, it's typically something's being shot, recorded, a lot of post editing, and then getting put out to the YouTube channel kind of thing. And then it's really on how much traffic do they get to that YouTube channel? Do they do any consistent behind the scenes going into the database marketing, right? Do they market to their database, their controlled traffic source to push that information out? And same thing with the guest trainings, but they're still good ones, right? So I'm going to start with these ones here because they're a little harder to do. They take a little bit more work, but I personally think they're more powerful than these ones up here just because we can get these all the time. And when I think of guest trainings, I immediately think of somebody like Marie on this call. Marie, how many times have I come to Phoenix or done something with your Phoenix weekly huddle real estate group? Right?
At least 3 or 4 times.
Where I've reached out and I've said, hey, if you're looking for somebody to speak on a particular topic, teach on a topic, talk about something, I'd love to be there, right? And do that. And a couple times I've actually flown to Phoenix to do that. Other times maybe it's been via Zoom, right? why as an owner of a company, why is it worth me putting that out there to say, hey, Marie, I'd love to come do a training on, whatever for your REI group. Why is that beneficial?
Gives you exposure to everyone in the group.
Yep, that's all I'm trying to do, right? You've got a closed audience, a captured audience of my avatar, real estate investors, real estate experts, people in the real estate space, right? So sure, I will give up some time to provide value, right? To be able to speak in front of that. Notice I didn't say, hey, I want to come and sell my shit. I said, I want to come and speak and give value, right? And as a byproduct of that, what tends to happen? Business.
Sell your shit.
Now, that doesn't happen just because I went searching on social media and saw this girl named Marie and she has this group and I reached out to her and I just said that right away. That happens because why, Marie? Why is it okay? Why do you allow me to come and speak to your group from time to time?
Because I know you and trust you.
She knows me. She trusts me. She believes in what I stand for, right? She believes in the product and service. She knows that it's going to be valuable. So this is why I say these ones are a little harder to get. Same thing with the YouTube side, right? If somebody's got a consistent YouTube strategy, they're posting YouTube videos every single week. They like to bring guests on maybe to do a YouTube show or something like that. I was just talking to some people here at my office that we got talking, reminiscing on like what we would wanted to do when we were kids. And one of the guys was like, I really wanted to be a sportscaster, wanted to work for ESPN, do sports broadcasting. I started laughing. I said, dude, with YouTube and everything else today, you can create your own sports talk show right now, right? Well, if let's say I was in that space and I wanted to get on his sports talk show because every week he's, every Sunday he does a video recapping the NFL games or Saturday recapping college days, and that was my audience. Well, maybe I want to try to get on that show, but it takes me building that relationship first. And we're going to talk a little bit deeper on how do we kind of target these two people here in a little bit. But we can't just reach right out and say, hey, James, you got a great freaking YouTube channel, and I got some cool things that I'd love to say. I'd love to record an episode with you. Because James is probably going to be like, first off, who's this Shawn guy? I've never met him before. Don't know who he is. And why in the heck would I let you be on my show, right? But we can get there in time. Now, why I say these ones up here are a little easier to build is if a podcast, if I go doing some research and I find a podcast and the format of the podcast is guest based, well, what do you think they're looking for all the time? They're looking for guests. So it's a little easier to pitch the idea of being a guest on a podcast a little quicker. Now, there's some things that I'm going to still give you as ideas or things to take into consideration when you're doing that, so that you don't just sound like a dum-dum reaching out, begging. Right? We still want to position it from a place of authority. But same thing with live streams. If their format is they like to, have guests on their live stream, well, it's going to be easier, I should say, to get that, right? Is all this making sense so far? Thumbs up. So let's talk real quick first on what should we look for in some of these outlets. Podcasts, we'll start there because it's an easy one. Podcast, you want to look for stuff that's industry based. So for real estate, are you going to go find the show that's talking about flipping homes, or are you going to go find the show that's done by a probate attorney and is talking about probate processes and probate laws and just probate navigation and these type of things, if your audience is the probate individual? Probably going to go for the probate show, right? over the show that's real estate numbnuts talking about flipping houses. Now, if your audience, if your avatar, who you're actually trying to target, is somebody that's a real estate flipper or a real estate wholesaler, that's probably who's listening to the show from a bunch of people talking about how to flip properties and how to do things, right? Now it makes sense to go on that show because that's my audience. So you want to start looking at podcasts that are industry based around what you do. And it's not just, for most of you guys on this call, it's not the real estate shows. It's the other shows, the other podcasts that are out there that are in your area. And you need to kind of ask yourself who in your local area is a authority already in this space. Who do you guys already know that's probably, or you may not know them off the top of your head, you got to do some research, but I bet there's somebody in your local area outside of real estate world, right? There's attorneys out there that are doing shows. There's moving companies that are out there maybe doing shows. There's XYZ service, right? That's out there probably doing some form of a podcast, and we can even lump these are all going to kind of be the same for podcasts and live streams. But you're just trying to find the ones that are out there, right? That are based in the industry and make sense for who you're supposed to kind of be in front of. The other thing that you really want to pay attention to is how active. Meaning, if I go into Apple Podcast, right, and I start doing some looking around and I find this, great real estate show, and it looks cool, sounds good, right? I listened to an episode or two. It's got a good vibe. It's guest interview style based. It sounds like something I could, kind of jive with the host of it on. But then I look and their last episode posted was 3 years ago. Is that a show I want to try to go after? No, I want to find a show that's got consistent posting, right? Is active, is current, got some things happening. They may not need to be posted, a new episode every single week, but if I've seen something in the last couple weeks that's been posted on there, cool. Okay, so maybe this show's format is they just post maybe once a month. Again, I'm leveraging them to get in front of their audience. All I'm giving up is a little bit of my time, right, to do this. Same thing with the YouTube channels. When you're looking at other people's YouTube channels, you want to kind of look through the videos, and you could filter inside of YouTube, filter by the last date uploaded. And if it was 5 years ago, well, that channel's probably dead. They're probably not as active on it anymore. But if their last video uploaded was 5 days ago, that's a little bit better, right? So we want to find something that's a little bit more active in there. And then I kind of already gave this one away, but you want to watch or listen to and see how the flow is going. Does it fit you, your brand? We're not doing this just because it's an easy way to get in front of new audience members. I'm also doing it in a way that fits me. I'll use Lorraine as an example here. Lorraine, Kim, Mickey, they've got an awesome podcast that they do that I help them get started. But you know what? I can't get on that show for a number of reasons. If you actually pay attention to the show format and what's going on, it's an all-women show, not just the women hosts. All the guests that they do, it's women that they bring on, right? Their mission is around kind of bringing to light women in real estate, women in business, these type of things. More importantly, let's go to some other demographic features. Not only am I a man and it's for the women show, but it's a women-run podcast by minority women. So even if I was a woman, but I'm not minority-based, is it really my jive, right? Is it really going to be a good fit? Does it help them in the process of helping me? You see what I'm saying? before you even go reaching out, this is why you want to pay attention to the flow, the feel, the topics, the way that it's being kind of produced. Does it fit? Does it make sense for me to try to reach out? And if it does, then sure, we move to the next step. This is making sense. Thumbs up.
Yeah. So my question to that would be, what if they reached out to you?
Total different story.
Okay.
Total different story, right? I'm talking cold outreach here. I'm talking we're kind of building an arsenal here at this point. Now, what you really want to do is start to look through these, and I would encourage you to make a list of anywhere from 40 to 100 ideals. The reason I say 40 to 100, it might sound scary. It might sound like, holy crap, Shawn, that's a lot. The reason why is, how many of these do you really think you're going to land? My guess is going to be somewhere between 10 and 20% you'll actually get them. You'll actually be able to get on. You'll be able to build a relationship enough to get onto one of these, right? So we're talking somewhere between 20 and 50 is what you might actually get if you make a list of 40 to 100. If you take this lazy and you go and find 5 or 10 of these, well, now I'm setting myself up to maybe get on 2. And then in 6 months, you'll be like, yeah, Shawn, I tried that. That doesn't work. When in reality, was it the strategy didn't work, or was it the fact that we didn't find enough opportunity to try to sell myself to get on there, right? We good with this? Now, you can follow this same format if you wanted to for the YouTube and the trainings, but the difference maker here really comes down to, and it plays a factor on this podcast, YouTube channels, that kind of stuff as well. But the real big difference maker when it comes to being a guest trainer for somebody, or something that's going to be more of a long form kind of YouTube video, kind of training that way, is you really need to be able to show that you're an authority in your niche, or an authority in what you do, right? How do you think we show that we're the authority? I'll let you think for a second, but I'm gonna put Chris on the spot. Chris S.
My answer would be testimonials. For
That's
instance.
one way. Having testimonials, right? What else could help us sell the fact that we are an authority in this?
Track record. I mean, that goes along with testimonials.
Think about your own website right now. Think about some of the stuff that you guys have been working. This is why I put you guys on the spot. Think about some of the things that Keith would be another one. He just did something this past weekend.
We have content. I mean, we have ammunition for it. We have information. We have resources.
A niche.
This one wasn't one that I was looking for right this second, but I'm going to put a star because this one's huge. We're going to come back to that. There's something on your website that I'm looking for.
Do you have one that's like verified by Google or approved, or like those banner things?
Yeah.
The certifications.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Certs. I was trying to
Thanks, Bob.
say yes without giving you the answer. Certifications, badges, right? Chris, Sal, you guys went to a ton of different courses, right? Simply to get, they had nothing to do with, buying a house and flipping a house. They had everything to do with, based on probate, based on, pre-probate, the whole mom's house stuff, all the stuff that you guys went through. And what did we do? We put those badges all over the place. Why? Those badges help show that you're certified, or you've got some kind of a certification, or you've got some sort of kind of stamp of approval, which helps sell the fact that you're the expert, right? Does that mean that me stepping into that space that doesn't have all that stuff, that I'm not necessarily just as knowledgeable? No, But if somebody's going to give you the time or give you the ability or is holding like in physical trainings and wants somebody to speak to them, to their group, they want to make sure that it's a legitimate individual, right? Certifications help with that. Having that stuff on the website. This is why we've been pounding you guys to really pay attention to that About Us page, the How It Works page, and constantly looking for ways to update that and enhance that and put more information and get deeper bios and these type of things on there, because they are looked at. Data shows it, that they're the two most looked at pages of a website. They're also the two most bounced off of pages when nobody puts any work into it, because the majority don't. Yet that's where all of the authority-based credibility comes in. Now, I put a star next to content because this is just as important as the certifications. But if I have a ton of content out there on these topics, does it make it easier for me to get in front of somebody and say, I'm the authority in this? I'm an expert in this. I'm knowledgeable in this topic. Absolutely, right? Lorraine, great example right here, not to pick on you. Lorraine is freaking amazing and knowledgeable as crap when it comes to, yeah, I see you shaking your head like, yes, give me that, but I'm about to cut you off here in a second. She's knowledgeable as crap, amazing as anything, gets fired up. I've had some of the best conversations I've had with somebody when it comes to taxes and money structure and just the investing and using notes and the ways and the different strategies behind it. The only reason it's hard to sell her to somebody else, if I had to like pitch her to get her into events, the only reason why, who thinks they can guess it?
Is it just experience of speaking at events?
Not even that. She's amazing with that. I got her to do a couple webinars and I gave her some pointers, and right out of the gate, even her webinar flow for not even doing webinars in the past. Because she gets talking, it doesn't take long to talk to Lorraine and know she knows what the hell she's talking about. The only reason it's hard to sell her to somebody else right now as to why you need Lorraine to speak is what?
People don't understand it to know what it is to begin with.
Nope. Lorraine, what is it? You know what it is.
They don't know.
Everything's on our website.
I don't know. Is it just me not stepping up to do it?
There it is. How many times did you and I have the conversation about turn the camera?
I've gotten much better
on.
though. Much, much better.
You have.
I'm doing lives and all the things, Shawn.
You have. But leading up to that, right? It was always this turn the camera on and just talk, right? Get that information out there. Content, we want to attach or go after and get in front of other people's audiences. It's about being this authority, and yes, badges are great, certifications are great. I think, Aaron, I don't want to discount what you said about the as seen on stuff, right? If you go look at a lot of our websites, we try to get you guys, especially if you're in our deeper SEO packages and stuff, we get you published in ABC, CBS, Fox, these type of outlets. Why? That brings credibility, brings a level of authority to it all, right? Those are great, but the fastest way to build authority is through content. Content is king when it comes to all of this. Why did I write a book? Marketing is like dating. You think it's because I wanted to be a published author and sell 1 million copies of my book? Nope. I failed English class growing up. I cheated my way through. This is way before the internet and, when you copy somebody's words? Plagiarism. This is before they had like all the online plagiarism checkers and that kind of stuff. I was joking with somebody. My research papers, we used to actually have to go to the encyclopedia and research in encyclopedias. So you could get away with copying stuff because it wasn't as easy to catch it. That's how I got through English class. So publishing a book for me was not about being a published author and selling millions of copies. Publishing a book for Shawn, not once, but now twice, is what? It's an authority play. That's why I give the book away for free, not try to sell it. Why? It's an authority play. When I'm speaking in a couple weeks at the LA RIA's convention, it's gonna be about 1,000, 1,500 people out here. It's a free convention. How did I get asked to speak at that event? The founder of that group saw us, found us, whatever, reached out to us, started talking. We became vendors with the thing. I gave him a copy of my book at one of the meetings. He read through the book, and then he kind of like glanced through it, not read it, but glanced through it, talked to us, got to know us, and all of a sudden was like, wait a minute, you need to speak at the convention we have coming up. Why? Because I'm a published author. Because he can put that out there. That we got high authority people that wrote books speaking at this thing, right? It helps him because it attracts more people to the event. But do I get that gig without something like that? Do I get that gig without YouTube, or not even just YouTube, but video, podcast? And I'm not talking about being on podcasts. I'm talking about running our own podcast. Why does Roger and I run a WebBuzz podcast every single week? It's not because we just love the two of us getting on camera and BSing back and forth about marketing topics. It's why.
It's authority. It's building authority.
That's it. It's a way for us to showcase our knowledge. And it's another thing out there that's content that when somebody says, hey, I'd love for you to do this, or if I want a cold outreach, right? I think somebody asked, like, what if they reach out to you? If they reach out to you, typically it's because they're finding this stuff, they're seeing it, they're learning about it, or realize coming into the customer journey, they're aware of it now, right? That they reach out. But if I want to cold outreach somebody, what's my ammunition behind me to help support the fact that, yes, you should pay attention and listen and get into discussion with me about doing this? No matter where they look, there's content all over the place. And they end up going right back to this themselves. Is it industry specific? Does Shawn fit our industry? Is Shawn a good, an REI toolbox? Does it fit who we're serving? Are they active and present? Are they trying to, is it current information or is it outdated information? These are the things that they're thinking about. Flow, right? Is Shawn the right fit? Is REI toolbox the right fit? These type of things. So it's this two-way street. But it all comes down to content. This is making sense. Anybody having some light bulb moments, ahas? What's going through our mind? Let me hear from a couple of you guys.
I just got the rocks going back and forth between my ears.
Maybe one of these days I'll be able to help clear that.
No, actually, it's important because I've been doing it a lot with this the rehab that I'm doing. I've been recording all of the videos and talking through them, but I'm not showing actually myself, but showing the progress as I'm going along. So the more I have as far as content, I'll be able to work with you guys and hopefully do some splicing and shit like that.
And that's actually a good point, Bob. It doesn't need to be your face. Right? You wandering a rehab project, talking about it, talking about what you're doing in it, that's great, showcasing that. What if you started all the way at the very beginning, though? When you were initially walking the project to look at it before you even made the offer? What if you just sat down and did a Loom video sharing the screen, showing Google Maps and showing the area and talking about how you actually analyzed that particular project before you even got to making the offer? What if you sat down and, not just Bob, but these are some ideas for all of you guys. What if you sat down and just took one recent deal that you did and break it into every possible section from the way that the lead even came to you. What if the next video was talking about the analyzation and how did you come up with the structure of the offer? What market conditions were going on? What did you use to decide on that? What was some of the situation? Obviously, we don't want to give too much information away from the person's situation and, you know, make it too personalized, saying their name and they were about to get, you know, foreclosed on, and Sarah was, you know, getting the door knocked on by the cops every night kind of thing. Not that level, but hey, the seller of this particular project or property, here was the situation. They were financial situation. There was a possibility of the bank wanting to take it, blah, 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 blah. Here's some of the conditions. Here's some of the stuff. Here's how we factored in. Here's how we were able to make. And I take one past transaction and could I probably make 10, 15, 20 educational value-based video on this? On one that could start to build an arsenal of authority for me.
I think the biggest problem, Shawn, is we overcomplicate it and we don't break it down into those small steps and think about all the steps of the process, because we take for granted like how we do things and what we know. And we just think, oh, if I know how to comp a property, everyone must know how to comp a property. So why am I going to make a video on that?
I think it was you guys that were out here in LA a couple months back. I think I showed you one of our old playlists, right, on YouTube. And one of the videos in that playlist was, so for those that weren't out here, it was a playlist from our rental company, our rental management company, Rust Belt Rentals. And we were basically doing turnkey at that time. And Nathan and Aaron and myself, we decided to sit down and we were like, hey, you know, we're tired of having the same conversation all the time. Number one, with our investor buyers. Number two, we're trying to build this authority level that, you know, we've got this whole system down and we want people to be able to see it pretty quickly and trust us and like us and want to be involved and buy property from us and let us manage it and the whole package, right? So we decided to sit down and create what we called our investor series. And it started all the way from, let me just introduce you to the team. Let me introduce you to everybody, right? That was one video. The next video was just a breakdown of the types of rental properties we look for, why we look for these type of properties in this particular market, and so showing some of the areas of the market and the you know, demographics of that market and the psychographics of the market and the data behind it. Then we got into this whole video where we broke down how we actually analyze it and how we package it all up. And when we send you an opportunity, here's kind of what you're going to have, and here's how we break it down, and here's how we get to the numbers that we're getting to. And some of the numbers that we factor in, like percentage of rent every month that needs to be held back, and why we suggest this based on these type of homes. And here's how we got to the cap rates, and here's how we suggest funding these projects, right? And then we got all the way to the next tier where we shot videos around the management, the rental side. How do we screen for tenants? That was one video. How do we decide who we're going to allow to rent in that? How do we handle maintenance requests? How do we, you see what I'm saying? Every step of the way was this video series. We bundled it all up, made it into a YouTube playlist. And when, let's say, Lauren reached out and was like, hey, Shawn, I want to buy a rental property. I heard you guys do turnkey. We do. First step is go through our investor series. Check this out. After you go through it, let's get on a call, let's schedule time, let's talk, and we'll answer any questions. Why? Because that video series explained everything that Lauren's probably going to end up asking me anyway. But number two, it brought a level of authority in our marketplace like nobody's business. We had more real estate agents, more other, you know, other real estate folks in the area reaching out, going or telling people, you need to talk to Rust Belt Rentals. This is exactly what they're the specialists in. Maria, I saw you unmute.
Well, because I think another thing is like sometimes we're scared to show our failures in our process. And I think that if we're more open to just being like vulnerable and show what's really happening behind the scenes, we're going to have more content and we're still going to prove that we're the authority, right? Like I'll go to my fix and flip sometimes, and if there's no one there, I'm like, what the fuck? Why are my contractors not here? And I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna shoot a video until like there's progress being done. But I feel like those videos when you're like, fuck, my fucking contractor's not here. Like
Some
this
of the
is
best
everyday shit. That's actually good content as well.
some of the best content.
That's actually what I just wrote down was relationships built and broken at like 3/4 of the way down, because you, like you're saying, Marie, with you're going to have your contractors or just, your neighbors stealing shit off your front porch,
I think even with getting additional engagement from even the people that are viewing the video. So it, like Marie was saying, being vulnerable, if you're explaining a particular process, towards the end of it, you can also say, hey, do you have have you found a better way of explaining this? Or have you found a better way of completing this process? Put it down in the comments, let me know. And at least that could help with engagement as well.
Yeah, these are all great points. You guys are 100% correct. You're actually going in a direction on how we create content, and we can go there over these next couple of weeks if we really want to break this down. But I want to come back. I want to pull it back to one point. Why is content king? How many of you guys are trying to increase your SEO rankings? Give me a little thumbs up. What do you think one of the number one factors? There's a ton that Google, right? We'll just keep it on Google and search engine rankings right now. But what do you think one of the major factors into the algorithm is?
Consistent content.
That's one of them, yes. But what do you think a major one is? Because I could put out, Lauren, not to discount your answer, I can put out a ton of content. But if it's shit content and nobody's paying attention to it and people turn it on for 3 seconds and then jump off, and it really, nobody's going to pay attention to it, right? They're going to look at that and go, that's bad content, even though he's putting out a ton.
It's time, especially on YouTube and Facebook, it's the time people spend on that content, right?
Engagement of that content.
Engagement.
Yeah.
It's the engagement. Now let's go back real quick, actually.
He's getting excited.
Start redrawing some stuff here. Crazy. But what's the second stage of the customer journey?
Engagement.
Engagement. Yet it's one of the most powerful metrics when it comes to increasing something like search engine optimization. Why? Search engine optimization is built on the back of authority, the know, like, and trust factor. Is the circle starting to come together here, folks? To build authority, we need content. To build the authority even stronger, the content has to be valuable to where people actually want to engage with it. And the more I can put out content and get engagement, the stronger I'm building my authority, therefore the higher I'm pushing myself. And this, I'm just talking Google for a second, but guess what? It's the exact same thing for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I've proven this too many times over and over again. I put a crap post out, get nothing on Facebook or Instagram, and it falls flat on its face, it dies. I put something out there that's really good. A couple people engage with it pretty quickly. There starts to be a little bit more engagement. Before you know it, there's a lot of engagement behind it. And what happens? 4, 5, 6, 10 days later, there's still engagement happening on that. Why? The algorithm's consistently pushing it because a lot of people like it. Does this make sense? So when we get down to the marketing side of things, and I know we're talking today really around leveraging other people's traffic, this is great, right? I can go find podcasts. I can go find live videos. I can find other people in the space to do things. My biggest question, though, is when they finally hear you for the first time or see you, because you're now exposed to this new audience, and they go look you up, what do they find?
Content.
Because if they find nothing or very little, how much trust do they have? little to no trust, right? Now, vice versa, Bob reaches out and like, hey, Shawn, I want to get on your show, blah, 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 blah. I like Bob. Bob and I can talk military stuff all day long. Everything's amazing, cool, great. It'd be an awesome episode. We'd probably reminisce on some stuff. People would love it. And they're like, man, this Bob guy is pretty awesome. They go look up Bob, and he's got a ton of stuff all over the place. Well, guess what? They're going to get glued to Bob now too. Because they already are glued to me because they trust me. They're my audience, right? And if Shawn liked Bob enough to bring Bob on, then Bob must be trustworthy.
Okay.
But just as fast as you can get it, you can lose it. So before you go focusing on this type of stuff here, because I know some of you guys are like real action getters, go-getters, you're going to already start going and reaching out and trying to get on people's podcasts and live videos and all this other stuff. Before you go and do that, you got to take a deep dive into your own authority and really on the content side. The good news is if you're working with REI Toolbox from a website standpoint, we've at least got you a solid base. Now, I like to think I'm pretty good looking, but Lauren's got me beat. I can't be Lauren on video, right? I need Lauren to shoot some videos. I need Marie to shoot some videos. You know, Terry's cool, but I just can't rock the tank top in the middle of the day, right? So there's only so much. I bring that up because there's only so much that we can do for you. We're always here for you, right? But there's still pieces that you have to do yourself. And this is a big shift. This is that big shift that we've been talking about for a while in the way business owners really need to look at their business when they're looking at the growth and the expansion and these type of components. In the past, you could get away with maybe just hiring talent, right? Or get somebody else to, and you can do it with static imagery or that kind of stuff. But video is taking over. And at the end of the day, you are the brand. So the only way to really capitalize, you have to be on the video. It has to be you. Does it always have to be your face? Do it always have to be staring at you, right? No. But I can't have a voiceover, Bob, of your project walkthrough. It has to be your voice. And I have to occasionally see you. And I got to kind of understand who Bob, the guy behind this camera, behind this operation, behind this company is, right? Some of us are a little bit more comfortable being completely on camera and are getting better at being that. But that's where it's got to be. All good so far?
So I have a quick question. And you probably touched upon this already. So I had a call with someone this week, and it was really just supposed to be like I guess a get to know you type of call. And at the end of the call, she ended up telling me that she has a podcast and that she wants me to come on her podcast and talk. But when I accepted the invitation, I was just going off of what you've shared previously about just get on anyone's platform, right? Like as many platforms or as many ways that you can get yourself out there to build awareness, do that. So I didn't really look into her following. I mean, I know it's real estate related, but I didn't really look into the following and do all of that stuff to see how I can better leverage or if it's the right audience and all of those things. So I guess my question is, I mean, it's still beneficial, even though it doesn't check all of the boxes, to still participate in these things, if especially if you were approached.
I'm not saying if it doesn't pass the sniff test, right? If it doesn't, if it's not necessarily fully in the industry or something, or it's not as active or doesn't have as big of a following as you'd really want it to, not to do it.
Okay.
Again, difference here is if I'm going to spend the time cold outreaching 40 to 100 people to try to get on, I want it to pass this test, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But if they're reaching out to me, and hell, I got an hour free, on Wednesday at 2 o'clock and they want me to come on their show on Wednesday at 2 o'clock, why would I say no?
Okay.
Right? I just did a training earlier today, much like this training, in the mastermind group that Roger and I belong to. Now, that's a mastermind of other digital agencies. And I was teaching a marketing topic to other digital agencies. Is digital agencies our niche? Is that who we focus on?
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't service other digital agencies. But why was that worth my time? Because I just had 200 people that got to see Shawn speak, teach, educate, right? That guess what? They've got audiences. They've got customers. They've got people. They're constantly, and we get it all the time. So-and-so reaches out to us from that group and is like, I just had somebody that's in the real estate space and you're the only one that I know that I think would be the best one for them to work with. So it was worth my time, even though that didn't pass the audience, right? The industry, it was still worth my time to put in the effort because I continued in that group that we belong to build my authority.
Okay.
That make sense, Noreen?
Yep. Makes sense. Thanks.
So any other questions before I want to end on one thing, and it's going to kind of set us up for next week. Next week, we're going to get into something, and then I'm going to launch a 7-day challenge behind it. So we're going to talk deeper next week, and then that challenge is starting immediately the next Thursday morning, and you're going to do it from Thursday all the way till the following Wednesday call. We're going to see what goes on. Okay, and I'll explain the challenge next week. But any questions or any other thoughts before I go a little deeper into something here? I want to show you how quick you can saturate your assets out there with valuable content. Would that be beneficial? How many of you guys on here, give me a hands up. How many of you guys on here are we producing blog content for your site? Meaning you're in one of our SEO packages where we're writing your blogs. Okay, handful of you guys. This is super easy for you guys, right? Because the blogs are already being produced, which is a starting point for this. Anybody else not at that point, that's where you need to start, is get blogs produced. Whether you're producing them, get them produced, talk to us about us doing it for you, whatever that case is, right? And here's why I say the blog side. You can take this one blog article, and from that one blog article, we are going to do a ton of stuff. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to sit down and you're going to shoot a video. This video is going to be somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes in length, summarizing the blog. Let me do this right here. I'll share the screen in a second. Pull up a blog on a site. This is actually one, I might do this week into next week to be able to show you guys. Are you able to see the REI Toolbox 18 Best Books for Real Estate?
Okay.
So this is a new blog that just went out earlier this month, a couple weeks ago, something I asked the team to put together for us. The 18 Best Books for Real Estate Investors in 2022, right? That's going to be the title of my video. Same exact title as the blog. 18 best books for real estate investors in 2022. I'm going to sit down, and in this video, I'm basically going to talk about, hey, we've taken our hard-earned time to do some research and find what we think are the 18 best books that real estate experts, real estate investors in today's market should be reading in the year of 2022, right? And I'm going to go through this list, and I'm just going to say, hey, the first book that we highly recommend.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, you think there's a deeper SEO play on all of this too? Right? Number one book is my personal book, Marketing is Like Dating, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to give a 30-second snapshot of what the book is about. Number two, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, staple book in the real estate space, right? All these years later, it's still blah, blah, 30 seconds. You see where I'm going with this, right? 30 seconds about each one of these. All these books, boom, 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 right? All the way through, and guess what? I think a famous individual on this call even made this list.
Hey, good book.
Squeaked it in at number 18. I was actually going to do 15, but I wanted a couple extra books, so then I brought Marie's in at 18. Right?
Yes.
So you're gonna shoot 30 seconds just talking about each one of these, right? This video, no time at all, is gonna be 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes in length, right? Then this is where it gets really interesting, right? That's gonna get posted to YouTube. Post that video to YouTube. You then can send over the embed code to get put on the top of the blog so that it's living on your website too, on the actual blog, because the blog's eventually going to rank. The video's another asset that can rank. It's out there over on YouTube, or you guys have heard this part already in the past. Now, here's where it can get really fun. This one video can get chopped into multiple little videos in vertical format. Right? This one's in horizontal format for YouTube, but we take this and chop this up into vertical format. And where do you think these 4, 5, 6 of the 5 to 10 minutes worth of video, where do you think these vertical videos are going?
Instagram and Facebook.
And Facebook Reels.
All the vertical video platforms, which are IG Reels. Right? I'm taking that long video, I'm going to chop it into 4 or 5 little ones, and then today I'm going to sit down and I'm going to post the first one of these little ones. These little ones are only like 35 seconds to 60 seconds in length. So I'd take, if I was using this book one as the example, I would take the 30 to 60 seconds of me talking about my book. That's one little video. I take 30 to 60 seconds of me talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? These are my little ones. I don't need to do all 18. I just need to do a couple of them because I only need to post 4 or 5 of these a week. Okay. I'm going to post it to IG Reels. And if you've got your stuff set up, that means it's also going to push over to Facebook on the Reels side, right? I'm going to go to YouTube. Under the YouTube Shorts. I'm also going to go to my LinkedIn profile and post it on there. Once it's on IG Reels and Facebook, I also want to share this off to a story. And I want to add it to my featured section on Instagram. Do you guys know what I'm talking about with that?
No.
Let me pull up.
This is a 5 to 10 minute video on the written blog.
On that written blog. I take that one. I'll do this week or first part of next week, and I'll show you guys. We do this anyway with our podcasts and everything else, but I'm going to take it from that blog. I'm going to do the video on the 18 best blogs. I'll have the team chop it up. I'll show you guys where it's been posted, everything that's out there. You'll see the whole process
Shawn,
kind of unfold, right?
How do you go to how are you going to Facebook and IG at the same time live? I can't figure out how to do that.
Not live. I'm posting these as Reels.
Oh, okay.
The reason we're posting Reels, I'll talk about that here in a second, but here's what I mean by, you see these on my profile?
Mm-hmm.
You see these little favorites up here?
Okay.
Well, if I were to click on this, I don't know if it's going to work on the desktop. There it goes. Right, there's the reel that got posted. I shared it to my story, and then I saved it to this favorite so that it's always there. Right, and these are all in here of different ones that we've posted and done. Why am I doing that? I'm building an arsenal up here of the stories to stay there. Now, if you look at my feed, reel, static image that just got posted today, reel, couple carousel statics. Reel. Why am I going reel? Why are we going gangbusters on vertical videos, reels to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok?
They're on your phone.
What's that?
They're on your phone.
Well, yeah, they're there, but why are we going gangbusters with it?
What people are watching.
It is the new TV.
Engagement.
And it's short because people's attention span is short and it gives them information.
It is new TV. That is it. This is straight awareness engagement levels. Awareness engagement. Fill your channels. That's all you're trying to do. That same, if I were to go through it all, and I'm not logged into all this stuff, so I wish I would have thought of this earlier and had it all logged in. If you look at Instagram, and then let's see if I can.
And so, Shawn, you're doing this yourself and only outsourcing the chopping and the posting?
Marie, are we eating McDonald's? Or who is that? Who is that? I can't see who's unmuted.
I'm unmuted. I'm the only one.
Are we?
Shawn is
I think we just got Zoom hacked.
Oh God.
What happened? I missed it.
No, it sounded like your voice.
My
Did
voice?
anybody else hear it?
Nope. You're the only one, man.
Oh, it's coming through like crazy. Somebody's like whispering and clinking on a McDonald's bag and talking about somebody's. You guys don't hear this?
No.
Do you have the video playing in the background on your computer or something, Shawn?
Maybe one of your reels is playing.
Oh, it's TikTok. That's what it was.
Well, it's
playing in the background on your screen.
It's a good thing you didn't hear what Marie said about you.
Yeah, anyway. All right, I can't get logged into TikTok at the moment.
Hey, Shawn,
if you guys are on TikTok, go look my profile up. Look at the videos on TikTok. Look at the videos on Instagram. They're the exact same video. I forget who just asked it. I think Lorraine, it was you. You said, are you doing this? You're just outsourcing the chopping. That's it. We shoot video, or I shoot a podcast episode with Roger, or this training call, for example. This is a big one. Every single day that we do these trainings on Wednesdays, right? At the end of the day, there's a notice that gets sent to Chamara on our team. He's our videographer, and he takes this video, and he knows that he needs to watch through it really fast and find 4, 5, maybe 6 max, like good talking points, snippets. And I've trained him on what to look for, right? Here's what I mean by snippets. He knows it now. He knows our brand feel. He takes that video, cuts it up, throws it into a Google Drive file. I take that Google Drive file starting on Thursdays.
Does Chamara have a side gig, a side hustle helping other people? Because I'd love to pay him to do that for me too.
He works full time for us, but we could talk about having a service for
that might be a service you want to offer, because we're all going to be looking for that, and we're going to be like, now we got to go find someone and train them. But if you've already done that, Shawn, that's a great service that I would pay for.
I think it should be looped in with the SEO blog writing already. I mean, that's already in place. So just kind of package it all into the package we have already.
This takes some time for Chamara to do. I'm going to show you guys.
Or teach us how to fish and show us how to do that on the YouTube video.
Well, you don't do it. It's video editing. That's why I found Chamara through Fiverr years ago, and I've just been working with them for years, and finally got them trained the way I want them, and then we hired them on full time a couple months, about a year ago now, actually.
Well,
so
I'll just say, Shawn,
look here, right?
Sorry.
You see all these folders?
Hmm.
So this is under the weekly calls. So this was last week's call right here. He went and took 4 of these videos, took the training last week and made 4 of these videos. And you can tell it's just me teaching what you guys are used to seeing, right? And he made this out of that one long video. Well, these 4 are what are being posted to social media right now. And what I do is I sit down and I just take it and I upload it to my Instagram Reels. It goes over to Facebook. I jump over to TikTok. I open up my TikTok account. I post it, right? Reels don't need a ton of captions. You don't need to write a long form caption. You really only need 2 or 3 hashtags. I use a couple variations of real estate related hashtags on it, and boom, I post it. And all I'm going after is filling the feed, right? As soon as I get done with TikTok, I open up YouTube on my phone. I hit create new YouTube short. I upload it there. It's YouTube's version of TikTok, Instagram's version of Reels, Facebook's version of Reels, right? And boom, we put it there. And even though we just launched the REI Toolbox YouTube page, we finally decided to make a dedicated page just for REI Toolbox. Share this. You can see there's the YouTube shorts over this last week that have been getting posted up there. And they're not getting a ton of views just yet because we're building the momentum. This one, for some reason, I poked at something just right to get this one pooling a little bit faster than these. This one just got posted yesterday or today or something like that. But again, it's about the arsenal. That's it. I don't care how many views or likes or the vanity metrics that are on it. It's just when somebody comes and looks up REI Toolbox now, is there stuff out there? Is there things of me teaching and speaking under that brand name? Absolutely, right? And that'll just compound and compound and compound the more and more and more that we do this. The reason I'm pushing on the video side, right? When that one piece of content, it started as just a blog. And that's what I said, those of you guys in our SEO package, we're writing the blog based on SEO data. We know that blog, that topic, the keywords in it are searchable stuff. So by you taking it now and amplifying it, by creating the video and then dispersing video all over the place around it, you're just kind of putting fuel on the fire.
Mm-hmm.
This making sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I can go deeper into this because what was the third type of traffic source? We had earned, we had controlled, and then what was the third one?
Paid.
Database,
Which is owned traffic, right?
Owned.
Our own traffic. Well, guess what I can do now off of this same piece of content? I'm building my earned traffic right here. I could put money behind all these little pieces. And now I've got paid traffic. I can buy traffic to it, right? But I could take this exact same thing, the same video, and email blast a database. And how many of you have gotten the emails? Hey, last week's podcast episode, here it is, go watch it, right? Well, all I'm doing is now taking that one single piece of content, a blog, and amplifying it and hitting all the different traffic sources off of that one. So you see in like a month and a half, 2 months of consistently doing this week over week over week, how you could have a really, really built up arsenal. What if you did this for 6 months straight, went all in on it? Get the vanity metrics out of the mind. Who cares how many people like it and comment on it? Who cares how many people are watching it? Just focus on 6 months of building an arsenal. And then when you start moving to the next phase, do you have to worry what they might go and look up? No. you've built this. It's out there.
So I'll just say, Shawn, for what Liz and I were doing for our weekly market updates, that's exactly how we did it. We wrote it in blog format first, and then we did those, live videos on StreamYard. The part we were really missing was breaking it down and utilizing it. And that's why I'm saying, what's the easiest way for us to find our own Jamara? Because that's not something that I know I don't have the time to do. And how do you find a person that's good at that can actually, you're not wasting money. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, how do you find these guys? They're a dime a dozen. They're all over the place on Fiverr and Upwork. You are going to have to, train them a little bit. There are other platforms out there that this is all they do. You upload a video and they will chop it up and do all these things. So there is stuff out there. We decided to bring Chamara on full time for us because we're doing this at a much greater clip than, he's doing this for every single Wednesday training. He does this for every single podcast training. And then I'm about to 2023, I'm going all in on YouTube marketing, both organic and paid, because that is how powerful video is today. And I'm studying like crazy right now in the YouTube space and starting to go that direction. And that's why we decided to bring Chamara on, because just him alone, we fill his week with just our video content. But to that point, do I expect you guys to out of the gate do this? No, I'm just showing you just how easy it is. Maybe right now, the simplest thing for you guys to do is take the blog and shoot individual short clips in vertical format and say, okay, my focus right now over the next 30, 60 days is I want to blow up my feeds, blow up my arsenal, right? When I say blow it up, I'm not talking about gain followers and all this crap. Who cares about the vanity metrics? Blow it up as far as fill it. Where my Instagram account is filled with reels and highlights. My company TikTok page is filled with video. My YouTube channel, the YouTube Shorts section, it's filled with a bunch of these little short videos. And that's going to lead into next week's challenge. I'm going to show you just how quick it is. Because now I can take that blog. There was 18 books, right? 18 best books. Well, if I really wanted to, I could start an 18 video series. And every day I'm going to shoot one video on one book that's 1 minute or less long. Does that make sense?
Yep.
In most of your blogs, you have a couple points in it, right? There's 2 or 3 bullet points in there. Or there's 2 or 3 sections around that topic. So that one blog could be 2 or 3 or 4 short 1 minute videos. And I kind of just gave away the challenge next week, actually. Does anybody want to wait till next week, or you want to just start it now? Do you want me to give you the details? It's not a formal challenge. It's if you really want to take this serious and grow, this is the challenge. Seven days. 1 video a day on some topic that your avatar could get value from. This one topic could be anything. Chris, Sal, you guys could have just hung up from a phone call with a potential seller, and something came out of that call that you're like, oh, people need to really understand this. Take your phone, go vertical, hit record, and just talk about for 1 minute that thing, that light bulb moment that you just had. Boom, the video's done for the day. Does that make sense? You don't need to overthink it at all. There is 1 minute of a day, every single day, where something comes to mind that you wish the people you focus on knew more of, or knew better, or understood, or didn't have to constantly repeat yourself on. 1 minute, right? The second part of the challenge is every day you're going to post that to, at a minimum, IG as a reel, shared to your story, TikTok, and YouTube under the shorts. 7 straight days.
So, and Shawn, quick question. And so this strategy is better than going live, or maybe I shouldn't say better, but why this instead of going live?
It's not this or that, it's both.
Okay.
Live video has its purpose. These short videos carry their purpose. Why do I call the short form content today's TV? Deanna and I joke about this all the time. We lay down on the couch some nights and we're like, oh, you want to watch an episode of the whatever series we're watching on Netflix or Amazon or something else? And she'll be like, yeah. And she's got her phone in front of her. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll turn that on. And before you know it, 55 minutes has gone by and the two of us are laying there looking at our phones, scrolling through Instagram Reels and TikToks, laughing and showing each other stuff. And we never got to actually watching the Netflix series. Right? She gets tired. She's like, oh, I'm going to go lay in bed. I was like, okay, I'll just come lay in there with you. And the next thing you know, we're both laying there staring at her phone, flipping through funny, stupid TikToks. 35, 40 minutes has gone by. It's today's TV. Nobody sits down and watches a 45, 50-minute show. They'll sit down and watch a 35-second clip, right? Short form content is driving the ship. Study the algorithms. It's why Instagram went from a static picture site to a video platform. It's why Facebook suddenly is bringing more and more of the Facebook Reels, right? Pulling that over from the Instagram side. YouTube just recent. Some of you guys actually might hit me up and say, I can't even get YouTube Shorts to load because you don't even have the ability yet. Because they haven't even fully rolled out this YouTube Short concept to every single channel. Why are these platforms making these changes? It's because this is the consumer behavior. This is what's changing. This makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a this or that conversation, it's a both. The short form is awareness engagement, awareness engagement, awareness engagement, right? Long form, there's still a purpose for long form, and that is, hey, there's bigger thing. I can't deliver this training in 1 minute. But could I do this? Right, I'll grab my phone. I'll show you guys. All right, done video. Back to me. Hey guys, so I'm doing this training right now with all of our individuals. You can see them all right there, teaching them how to leverage short form content, get it out across multiple channels, build the arsenal so that they can then build their authority that we talked about down over here. Because at the end of the day, content's king. And without content, nobody believes that you actually know what the heck you're talking about. That was 32 seconds. Could I throw a call to action at the end of it? Hey, if you want to be on a training just like this one right here, you need to jump over and join our free Facebook group, right? Blah, 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 blah. You don't know how to get there? Find the link in my bio, send us a message, something like that. Now I threw a call to action at the end of it.
Like I said before, we're just overthinking it and making it more difficult than it needs to be.
That's it.
Lorraine.
So are we down for this? 7 days. I'm gonna commit to this on that blog. I will shoot that video probably on Monday, get it posted to the channel. I'll have Chamara chop it up. By Wednesday next week, you will see 1 or 2 of these short clips already going out into different platforms off of that one blog just to see that process. Can you guys commit to this over the next week?
Yep.
7 days, 7 videos, 7 1-minute thoughts.
Yep.
And then blast it all over. And if you don't have a TikTok account for your business, go create it. start posting these right to it.
AD brain here. Anyway, so the 1 minute video is separate from the blog, right? We're doing both.
You don't focus on this right now. If you want to use a blog to help you feed this challenge, sure.
Okay, but just okay. All right.
Like if I were to look at your, and we are like way over time, so if you guys need to jump, I understand.
My YouTube's been
You're
doing
so
pretty good.
engaging though, Shawn. We can't.
You guys,
We're
fired.
thinking about the things we can do with this.
That's right.
I'm fired up here. So
Yeah, we are
Yes.
too.
So let's go here. Let's look at Melanin Homes.
Let's do
Lorraine
it.
likes to engage. I like to reward engagement. So maximize your investment in real estate with mortgage notes. Let's open this one up. There's a summary. I'm just giving a look here.
Maybe
So
the
just
tax
this right-
business has more updated
Just
ones. I don't
this
know.
right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 different videos. Remember, you only got to talk 1 minute or less, right? So you do one video talking about in 1 minute, how is investing with mortgage notes a way to maximize your investments in real estate, right? There's one video. Number 2 video, we're going to talk about the total amount of the home loan. For 1 minute, we're going to talk about some of that stuff. Things to think about on that. What makes a good one? What makes a bad one? Blah, 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 right? Cost of the down payment. And I'm just using, this might not be the blog that you use, but you see what I'm using as the example,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But maybe you kind of scroll through and you look through some of these other ones. Mortgage Notes 101. So Mortgage Notes 101, I'm going to start this video series. Hey, today, guys, I'm getting ready to kick off a 7-day series on Mortgage Note Investing 101 for the beginner investor, somebody that hasn't done much investing in the mortgage notes. Here's why I love mortgage notes. Here's why I think that every investor should have this as part of their portfolio, blah, 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 blah. 1 minute's done. There's video number 1. Video number 2. Well, today, let's talk about what are mortgage notes. You spend 1 minute talking about a mortgage note. Another video, basics of mortgage notes. Well, I bet there's a couple basics in here. So maybe we break this into 2 different videos, right, or 3 different videos. Every point should be a different video in this. And then you finalize your 7th video is this Invest With Us. Hey, my name is Lorraine with Melanin Homes, and here's what we do, and here's how you can invest in mortgage notes by working with a company like us. And there's your 7 videos, all off of this one topic, right?
Cool. Okay.
Put all 7 of those videos out there. Now we've got 8 different pieces of content all around this one topic, helping to push it. That make sense?
Yes.
The Ohana.
Yeah, for Lorraine too, you can even create a series in YouTube. So your 7 videos.
Like the playlist, right?
Yeah, it's like a playlist, and it'll just go to all 7 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, shorts you can't put into a playlist.
Oh.
And you're not going to load these 1 minute videos as a full video on there. You want to tackle the shorts section. So don't worry about going to the playlist.
Okay.
On it. But yeah, you could in time create a playlist of some sort, longer form videos, and embed embed that onto it. Here we go. 5 easy tips. Chris and Sal, 5 easy tips on moving with elderly in Houston. It's obviously very searched because it's verbiage that way for a reason. The title, right? So same thing. You started off with, hey, Chris, Sal here, Ohana Legacy Properties. We're starting this series over these next couple of days. We're going to be shooting different videos and breaking down the 5 easy tips that we have when needing to move in the Houston area, and you've got elderly individuals, or needing to move the elderly in the Houston area, right? And you talk a little bit about why this is a thing for you, why you like it, blah, 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 blah. They're day one. And then you just come in here and you find the 5 different points. They're all right here. All right, there's a couple points here, a couple point there, point there, point there, point there, and then you end it with same thing. Sell to us, talk with us, work with us, right? Reach out to us, consult with us, however you want to phrase that last video. There's your 7 videos right off of this one piece of content.
Mm-hmm.
All good?
Yep.
Let's see. Actually,
And we all have enough blogs to do this, I think, you know.
is it just AlloraHomes.com?
2 L's, I think.
To ALLOR.
Oh, all right, I have it backwards.
Allora. Go to Italy, you'll get it.
I just want to go to Italy. I mean,
It's the most overused word in Italy. It basically means like, well, then, okay. You ask someone a question and they're like, allora. And, then, and they answer it. It's like, you got to think about it first.
like
There's the title.
también in
También.
Spanish.
Yeah, yes, like in Spanish. También, también.
Mm-hmm.
There's your video, your primary video right there, right? Here's why you should go with the cash on buyer in Fort Bragg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. End it with your last video talking about working with Allura Homes. You open up with a video talking about the series right here. There's your 7 videos.
Yep.
Now,
love it.
imagine, right now we have a featured image in here, but imagine this is a video. Right? Going back to my original drawing up here, this would be the video, breaking all of this down, but then you took that video, chopped it up into these smaller ones, blah, 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 blah. That's the other way of going about it.
Yeah, but I like the idea of just making the short ones directly without worrying about making a long one and then editing it and blah, blah, blah.
That'll help fill that feed, but the long form content is the evergreen.
Right.
There's 2 sides to this whole kind of concept. We have our evergreen that we want to focus on, and I'm going to be doing a webinar here soon talking about evergreen. And then we want the today content, which is the shorts. This is the stuff that they're flipping through right now. And the second they flip past it, they're not going to go back and look for this one again. Right? We're not hoping that one comes back up again. We just want to constantly be having something from our brand in these short fields, showing up in their feeds, getting out there, right? Being discovered. And that's who was in business when Facebook was so new that you could make one post on a Facebook business page and anybody that liked the page saw it, no matter what. It always showed up in their feed. I miss those days. Those are gone. But guess what? They're back. They're just back in a different format. Short form content, reels. I can go to TikTok and I don't have to follow anybody and I can find video and see it, right? Because it's in the For You. It's based on user behavior. Instagram, same thing. You don't have to follow anybody. It can be discovered through just looking at a hashtag and seeing the content under this hashtag, or looking under a topic and seeing all of it, right? So it's kind of back in a different format. That's the point of today content, short content. Our evergreen, this is the long form. In video, this is our blogs that are on our website, right? This is the search engine. This is going to trigger based on a question somebody types into a search bar. Somebody going to YouTube and asking about selling my home in Fort Bragg and finding that blog article, or finding the video about them talking about selling their home in Fort Bragg. We call it evergreen because it's always working. 24/7. And I do it one time and it just always works. It's out there forever, right? The short form stuff, it's gone. As fast as I put it up, it's gone. That's why I gotta constantly be doing it. every day, getting it out there. All good? Remember, all of this, it sounds like a lot of work, but all of it comes down to one thing. We all want to increase our SEO rankings. SEO rankings are built off of how well Google likes you and platforms like you. And how do we get them to like you more? We put valuable content. If you guys didn't listen to the podcast episode that Roger and I did last week, go to the REI Toolbox YouTube channel and listen to it. We talked about Google's latest, what they call helpful content update, where they're scrubbing the internet and getting rid of content that is not helpful, that's not correct, that was written by robots, that isn't kind of user-created content. Why? Because they're putting the biggest emphasis they've ever put on good, solid content that's designed for the searcher. You want to get their trust? Feed them what they want. They'll give you more authority. They'll push your rankings. And with that,